What is up, my man? We are here in Tampa at my condo here, and we're with the big man, the world's tallest bodybuilder. This is my man, Aaron Reed. He's been a 7-time NPC bodybuilding champion. He's an author. He's the owner of a food prep company that he's been hooking me up with this past week while I'm here. And he is extremely passionate about nutrition. So that's what we're gonna talk to you guys about today. We are gonna talk to you guys about the perfect muscle building diet. Everything you need to know when it comes to muscle building nutrition is gonna be covered in this video. All right, we're gonna tell you guys a lot of stories. This is gonna be fun. And I promise you guys, we're not gonna spew a bunch of bullshit. There is so much confusion in the nutrition industry right now. It's maddening. It's just so frustrating, you know? Don't eat meat, your skin's gonna fall off. Don't eat that, don't eat this. What can you eat? There's like nothing you can eat anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's freaking insane. And people are confused and they're feeling helpless. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I got an email the other day from a guy, I kid you not. He said, I fucking quit. That's what he wrote to me. I said, what do you mean you quit? He says, I'm so confused, I'm so frustrated, I just wanna be healthy, I want to build muscle. I want to be strong. I want to be a badass like Big Aaron here. I just want to look big and lean like this guy here. I give up. He literally just wants to give up. So in this video, we're going to give you guys some tips. Can you relate to the frustration?
Oh, totally. There's just so much misinformation out there. You can't blame people that don't know, and you can't blame them. I mean, the internet, as wonderful as it is, has also been very bad because you have to sift through all kinds of crap, you know, and people that are putting out misinformation to find out what you need to know.
It's true. What I want to reassure you guys about is how long have you been doing this for, by the way? You were a former wrestler too, right? You were in the
WWE for a little bit. Liv Sawyer. Google it.
I think that's the first thing you told me when we first met here in Tampa. I'm like, yeah, I should have figured.
That was a long time ago. That was like 6 years ago, so I just got done, you know?
Yeah.
I was just done with it.
And you started telling me about the supernatural lifestyle, which we're going to talk about. But yeah, you know what, guys? We've been doing this for a long time. And we're not just going to say it works for us. We know you guys don't want that answer. We're going to talk to you guys about what we've learned by surrounding ourselves with very smart people. We do read the science. We do value it. We also value real world and practical methods and things that are sustainable. Something that you can do. Like, you're not into diets. Like, what did you say? What's your quote?
No. I'm on a lifestyle. You know, I don't restrict anything or hold anything back. I give the body what it needs. I just give the body exactly what it needs when it needs it. Because if you're not doing that and you're trying to hold back a carb, a fat, protein, whatever, you're on a diet, and eventually it'll fail.
Yeah, so we're not giving you guys diet advice. We're giving you guys sustainable lifestyle advice that can allow you to be big and strong, a badass, lean, muscular, and healthy. And you're gonna feel great.
Yeah, that's
the thing. People don't feel good the way they eat these days. It's like, what the heck are you thinking? All right, so enough of pre-ramble, let's get into this. So we've got principles for you guys. We don't want to give you hacks or tricks or, you know, things that are short-lived. We want to give you things that you can live by. So the first thing we want to talk about is eat whole food. That's the first key of a great muscle building diet. Eat whole food. I remember reading your book a couple of years ago, Supernatural Lifestyle, where you talk about the difference between what your options are in the grocery store. You've got two options. You've got whole foods, and then you've got food products. And it sounds so simple, right? But it's such a great thing to understand. So what are food products?
Food products is anything that's made from food, but incorporates like fillers, any type of artificial sweeteners, flavors, coloring, just junk.
I remember you said something really funny to me. I was like, how'd you say? It was like, okay, Vince, listen, if all the grocery stores in the world shut down, I'd be fine. Because everything I eat is in the wild. Yeah. I eat whole food. I don't need food products. And I was like, that's freaking good.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. And you know what? You don't either. Just people that are tuning in, you don't need it, you know. And don't be afraid of food, but we'll get to that.
Okay, cool, man. So whole food. Now, I'm going to put a percentage on this because the truth is we can't avoid everything that's a food product forever.
Sure.
I like ice cream. Do you like ice cream?
I like pizza.
I like pizza. You know, I like chocolate here. So obviously those things aren't found in nature. So right. We're going to talk about, well, how do we incorporate those into the lifestyle? So for me, it's about 80 to 90% of the time.
Sure.
Now, if I'm getting ready for a show, it is all or none.
Sure.
It's extreme. It's 100%. It's all in.
Sure.
But for the rest of the year, 80-90% of the time, it's whole foods. How about you?
That's it. That's it. You know, more than that, I mean, we're human, you know?
Yeah.
So, and beyond that, you know, the body needs just a little variance, you know, unless you're dieting for show, you know, whatever. Other than that,
that's like 1% of the people watching this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and they're yeah.
Don't worry about that, because people that compete are crazy anyways.
Don't date one. You know, I used to date a girl. I kid you not. We went to the movies, and you know, I get a bag of popcorn. I like extra butter layered. I kid you not. And she grabbed my hand. And she said, "Don't worry, I got you a protein bar." And I'm like, "What? What do you mean a protein bar? We gotta go get some. I'm gonna get a bag of popcorn."
Man, that's so funny because I did a video when I had a cooking show back then. Remember when I did Combo's Kitchen back in the day? Yeah. I said, you know, people eat a bunch of crap all the time, and I said, it's not like we're going to the movies. Because when I go to the movies, I'm going to be like a kid and eat some crap.
You get your large popcorn. Heck, I usually refill before the one. By the time the previews are done, I already finished one bag. Right. Like, oh, you're back. Yeah. Fill it up quickly. Hurry. The movie's about to start.
You knew that was coming. Look at me.
So that's principle one, guys. Whole foods 80-90% of the time. If you're a competitor, you know you got to be on your diet 100% of the time. So we're not really talking to competitors. Let's move on to point number 2.
What's point number 2?
I don't know. Let's go like free foods, fun foods for 10 to 20% of the time.
Oh, like cheat meals?
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about?
I just like when to put them in.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, is this recording? Okay, cool. Let's keep recording. Well, point number 2. Well, you told you're going to get everything you need, right? No, point number 2 is like, what do you do with the foods that you like? Ice cream, pizza, fries, you know, things that are hydrating. For me, I used to be like, certain foods are evil, but now I'm a big believer in the devil's in the dose.
Okay.
You know, the devil's in the dose. There's, you know, even if it's something, you know, unnatural, but only 10 to 20% of the time.
Sure. Okay.
It's very controlled.
I'm going to say this.
Am I challenging you, or is this you agree with that?
No, we're good. So, okay, I'm about a lifestyle. I'm all about a lifestyle, okay? So I lay out my meals. I love my lifestyle. I love the way it makes me feel, you know, reaching my goals, everything. I love everything about it. But one thing I've learned is as long as I eat everything I'm supposed to, if I want to eat some junk on top of that, I'm going to be fine. But the problem is, as soon as you eat some junk and can't eat what you're supposed to, now your physique is really going to start to hinder because of that.
Right.
So if you can just look at it like as a reward, I eat everything I need to eat, I'm not getting ready for a show, you know what, I can have a little bit of, you know, I like Kit Kats here and there and like peanut butter filled pretzel squares. So that's a good, you know.
Where do you get those, Starbucks?
You get them at Sam's Club in a big tub for like $5.
Sam's Club?
Otherwise you get them at Publix and like that for like $5.
Oh, you've got the prices figured out. Nice. We start giving the guys links to some discount coupons. All right, that's good. No, that's it. Everybody's got their vice, you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's true.
So about like 10 to 20% of the time, now do you fit it in like just when you feel like it, or?
You know, I kind of always go by feel.
Is it strategic or okay?
When you live on a lifestyle, you're used to feeling a certain way all the time. And so there are times like, you know, we'll get into it, but there are certain days where you overexert yourself or you do more activity than you do on other days, you know? And so your meal plan is set, you know, you kind of prep your meals, it's all set. And then sometimes you just want a little more. I listen to my body and eat it or feed it, you know? Principle
number 3 is to establish your macros. All right, now you've got an interesting perspective on macros, and we got to keep this in context. You're also very advanced. You're very in tune with your body. Sure. So I want to hear what you got to say, and then we'll give some kind of specific guidelines for where to start to maybe get to where you're at.
Okay.
So your view on macros.
My view on macros is I'm on a lifestyle, not a diet. I'm not a robot, so, you know, numbers, you know, don't necessarily apply to the human body like we all like to think they do, in my opinion. Because some days you train legs.
Right.
Some days I train back in the morning and shoulders at night. Sometimes I train twice. Sometimes I don't train at all. So these different days you have different, you know, needs, you know, with your macros. So I look at it like I start off with my macros when I put my plan together, but then from there, you know, I gauge it. So different days I eat different amounts of food, you know, and by doing this for a long time, I know, you know, where to increase my carbs or where to increase my fats, you know, and that's one of the things I do when I coach people and train people or whatnot. But you start off with the plan and you start off with your macros, you know, because you want to start off with that. But after that, it gets tweaked a little bit.
So Aaron's one of the top bodybuilders in the world, and you have to keep that advice in context. It's taken him years to get to the point where he's able to be that in tune with his body. For the majority of people watching, if you're just getting started, having macros is a very smart idea.
Yeah.
because what gets measured gets managed.
Sure.
So let's just run through some basic recommendations. Protein, are you on board? Typical science, 1 gram per pound of body weight as a good starting point?
I challenged that one time. I challenged it and I thought maybe this is a myth. And so I went down to 1/2 gram just to see what happened.
You're a beast.
I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see if it was a myth, because there's a lot of shit out there, you know? I noticed that my physique was softer. That was the main thing I noticed.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so by increasing my protein, putting it back where it was, I was harder.
Awesome. So again, this is something you got to figure out for yourself, but you start there. Carbohydrates. I'm a big believer, again, it's going to be determined by your body fat levels. So somebody who's over 12, 13% body fat, in my opinion, is fat. And they need to lose fat to optimize insulin sensitivity and their ability to produce testosterone.
Sure.
So I have a lower, no carb, don't say something I didn't say. Lower carbs until they're under 12% body fat.
Good.
And then I'm a big believer, push the carbs as high as you can based on what your body can handle. So, 1 to 2 grams per pound of body weight, if not more. What do you think?
I really don't go by macros at all when it comes to my carbs. I start somebody just where I think they need to be, and it's instinctive for me. I look at somebody and I think, okay, in this meal, if you're gonna have like a 1/2 cup of rice or close to 30 grams of carbs, that's substantial for most people. I do like 3 times that or 4 times that depending on what I'm doing. So I keep these things in mind, but I always start somewhere because I'm on a lifestyle, not a diet. So it's very easy for me the next week to change my meals and say, you know what, that was too much rice for those meals. Because I'm not in this for the sprint. I'm not trying to get results tomorrow. I'm trying to look good like in 6 months, but I want to see progress every week. So you do that approach with a client too? You kind of just start where you think they need and then adjust. So there's still an adjustment process. Always an adjustment.
Because that's important, because he didn't say that we're not adjusting things. You have to adjust things.
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm putting you on a lifestyle program, like we're changing your life. Like we're going to make lifestyle changes where you're going to learn to eat this way. You're going to learn to get your body to respond to these foods a certain type of way. And so you're not really looking for, 5 pounds to get in this dress by this weekend. That's not what I'm doing. I don't even take on clients like that. I say, that's not me. I'm going to get you there where you're not even going to feel like you're on a diet, and you're actually going to elevate your metabolism. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel better, and then your body's going to take shape on its own. My method is to allow the body to get in shape, not necessarily force it. By doing fasted cardio and dropping your carbs and dropping your fats, you're forcing your body to do something. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in burning the fat off the body, giving the body the fuel it needs so it can perform. Because when you can perform, when you can train hard, when you can put out effort, the body just takes, the hormones, everything take care of itself. You get shredded, you get stronger, because you got something to operate on. So that's great. So let's talk about carbs. You want to go carbs?
Before we go on, I want to say something. He said train hard. That's what it's all about. Like you want to be able to eat to train hard. So if you're eating something, if you're not eating enough or you can't train hard, then you're going to change that, because training hard is the most important thing. After that, use your meals to recover or reach your goal.
Let's talk about the forbidden food. The food that will make you fat immediately if you consume too much.
I think I know what you're going to say.
I hope you don't eat fruit, man.
Oh, here we go.
You eat fruit, man?
Here we go.
You know how many people I know who've got fat on fruit?
Man, let me explain something to you. Mother Nature did not screw this one up, okay? All right? Fruit is not the devil, all right? Like, that ain't even the case. Like, there ain't no way there's all these foods out in the wild we're just not supposed to eat. You're crazy.
Yeah, so I think for me when it comes to fruit, the only time I like to cut back on it is when I'm trying to get ready for a show, like 8-9% body fat down to 4%, only because I found that sweet potatoes, oatmeal, rice, quinoa, that makes me feel more full.
Okay.
So it's more of I feel better and I get better pumps. So I perform better. And that's something I've noticed because I've done a lot of contests.
Sure.
So it's not that it's inherently evil, but I've experienced that I feel better and perform better when I use complex carbs on those last few percentages.
Okay. See, all right, again though, this is his, experience in doing this, for himself. Everybody can be variable different. If I don't have sugar in my diet that's coming from fruit,
So you keep sugar and
can't be full.
right down to showtime?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because I feel like, number one, what you gotta understand about sugars, even with like a starchy carb, like a rice or a potato, as soon as this begins to be converted to sugar and the blood begins to rise, insulin's released and you store, okay? So if you have a starchy carb, you have to burn off all the sugars before you can go back to burning fat. If you have a simple carb, it comes in, gets burnt, and it's done much more quickly.
Gotcha.
So in my opinion, like, you know, it's just everyone's variable different, but I have some people you can't give them fruit because the way their bodies are set up, or maybe they're not training hard enough. That's not the case here.
Right.
But like some people, their metabolisms are just different. But
yeah. I find some people too, it's hard to put a cap on fruit. I mean, it's just so good. It's sweet, right? You have a cup of berries, a cup of grapes. It can kind of like trigger some cravings. And again, people that go from 8% to 4%, nothing wrong with that. We've both done it. We're weird. Yeah. We're weird people. We'll do whatever it takes. Yeah. So, you know, if we have a cup of fruit and it like all of a sudden triggers like an urge to cheat on our diet, and that could potentially jeopardize our show results, we're not going to do it. So just keep that in context. You know, we're not stupid. I understand that stuff I do in the final phases before a show is stupid. It's not lifestyle, but it does help, and that's why I do it. We're gonna wrap this up soon. We've got 3 more points here. In a moment, we're gonna actually show you guys some of the meals that Aaron has brought to my place, and we're gonna teach you about some meal timing strategies too. But first, let's talk about calories. I also wanna talk about good foods, bad foods. There's a lot of misinformation on that. What's your take on good foods, bad foods?
Good foods and bad foods.
Are there evil foods that you should avoid at all costs? We kind of touched on that, but like...
in my book, I talk about not mixing sugars and fats.
Okay.
And typically, they're not naturally occurring in nature. The time you see it the most, or the highest levels of sugars and fat in one substance in nature, is in milk. I don't do milk. Milk is for babies, right? And like
the milk
we've heard that before,
in your country is even worse than ours.
Way worse.
Unless I lived in Europe, I wouldn't touch milk. It's just too much chemicals and shit. It's better. There's other options. There's better options. And I'm not going to cry if I have a milkshake or something. But
yeah, no, I mean, you're going to eat ice cream every once in a while. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm not putting this in my diet plan.
You're not shopping for it, yeah. So for good foods, bad foods, for me, it's quite simple. Now, I'm not going to say you never need to go see a naturopathic doctor, blood work, and that isn't of value. It's a tremendous aid, and it is something that if you're really into this and you're eating foods and you're just not sure what the heck's going on with your body, you're going to get some definitive data on what's happening on the inside of your body. But for a simple feedback thing, I use this rule. If it makes you feel like shit, don't eat it. It's as simple as that.
Seems easy enough, right?
If it makes you feel like crap, if you feel like hell, if you're like, you feel like you're gonna throw up, you got gas, you're stinking up the rooms, people are clearing out, you're getting acne, your body's telling you something. Yeah. Hello? You don't need to go to the doctor. Just listen. So if the food makes you feel like hell, that's a good sign. All right? Even if a science study says it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. If your body says there's something going on, and it might not be that food. It could be something else inside you, and that food's just triggering a reaction. Sure. Bottom line, until you figure out why that food is bothering you, just avoid it. Yep. Simple as that.
Simple, I agree.
Talk about calories. What do you got on that?
With calories, I like it again, just like I do, my carbs or whatnot. I always kind of start somebody where I think they need to be according to their activity level, their age, their metabolism, how far overweight they are, things like that. Right. But these things will change, especially once you get somebody's body running right, then they will require typically more calories, so at some point. So
yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Like that's the goal, right? The goal is to be able to perform and to lose fat and to stay lean and be big and muscular with a lot of food. And that takes it takes a process to get your metabolism to that. A lot of people have just kind of pushed their metabolism down. So you have to kind of bring it back up with introducing more food combined with hard training, and it's a nice feedback cycle. So yeah, I use some simple numbers if you guys are interested, like body weight times 14 is, for most people, maintenance. These are very generic. 16 times body weight is good for muscle gain as a starting point. 12 times body weight is a good starting point for fat loss, and then you kind of go based on what the body's telling you.
I like that, a starting point.
It's a starting point.
It's great.
It's a starting point. We're at 20 minutes here, guys. Let's wrap this vid up. So, our video camera is going, hurry, we're almost battery life here. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's talk about your foods. Yeah, man.
Okay, let's get that in there, huh?
Yeah, man, we got to get that in there. So for everybody from Tampa, you know, you just started your food prep company, and yeah, Rick told me. So I reached out to Aaron and I said I'm down for the week, and I had a bad experience with another food prep company around here. Okay. I'm a nice guy, so I won't mention their name.
Yeah,
but, they're bad.
We don't need to do that.
But so anyways, I hooked you hooked me up, and let's just go through like some of the what do we got going here. So
okay, this red sticker first of all represents crucial post-workout meal. All right, so this meal is designed to have after your workout. I don't have fats around my workout. I do carbs only. Carbs to prepare for the workout, carbs to recover. So this meal right here is tuna. Fish has very little fat, and then we got jasmine rice. I use just a little bit of barbecue sauce to give it flavor.
Stuff is good.
There is some sugar in there, but you know what? We don't have any fats, and your body needs some sugar at this point, so this is why it's put together that way.
Cool, man. So what do we got over here?
We got the orange label here that represents a fat meal, also beta oxidation, which is the main metabolic pathway that fat is utilized to get energy. So we have ground turkey in here, and then we have some peanuts, okay? There's fat in there. Oh my God, don't be scared of fat, okay? Because at this meal, the fat is gonna be the energy source. You ain't getting no energy from the broccoli. Yeah. You're gonna get it from the peanuts. So I want you to do this because by eating this meal, you can do it close to bed, no carbs. It's actually gonna increase insulin sensitivity. So when it's time to have carbs in the morning, your body's really gonna absorb, or your muscles are really gonna absorb those carbohydrates in the morning much more effectively than you would if you didn't. So.
It also keep you full. It's great. A lot of people experience better sleep quality with a protein fat meal before bedtime. What else you got here?
This is what we just, Vince ate all of the chicken and rice meals. Obviously they tasted pretty good. So we're kind of stuck with 2 meals right here for now. But basically there's a best time to eat it with my program. I have a color-coded system to make it easy for people so that I can show them clearly, like I give you choices for your orange meals, choices for your red meals, choices for your blue meals, because they have a best spot to go when we're talking about that nutrient timing. There's a best spot, to go. So instead of taking, out fats or taking out carbs, we're just putting them in the best spots.
Food prep companies, I think, are the way of the future. I put a video up the other day and people ripped on me because like, didn't you invest all this money into cooking lessons? I'm like, yeah, that was a couple of years ago when I didn't have kids. Now I got 2 kids, you know what I mean? When you have a couple of kids, you'll see what I mean. People are like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. You bought a food prep company. But listen, I believe time equals money. I'll say that over and over. I always believe in investing in things that save you time. So eatlikeaaron.com. We'll put a link in the description if you're looking for a food prep company to hook you up. This guy will get you big, lean, and looking like a badass like this guy.
And feel good.
And feel good. That's the most important thing. Feel good and healthy.
That's it.
Well, you feel good, you're healthy.
That's
awesome. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Aaron, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed that video, you know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up. Also, because you watch this video, sounds like you want to build muscle, because that's what the title of this video is called. I want to give you a free 3,000 calorie mass gaining meal plan. All you got to do is click that link right above me. It'll take you to a page where you put your first name in, your email address, and then click the confirm link and I'll send it to you. A free done for you meal plan. If you're watching this video on your mobile, click the first link in the description and do the same thing and I'll hook you up as well. All right, thank you so much for watching. Leave us some comments, what'd you think? If you want Aaron and I to link up again and do some more vids for you guys, let us know what you guys want us to cover. All right, subscribe to the channel and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.